Hello and welcome to video number 5 of our van life series. We've finally finished the conversion, so now we're going to show you the exterior and interior of our home on wheels. My name is Luke.
And I'm Alba.
And this is our beautiful van, Gracie. So come and take a look. So our van is a 20-year-old LDV Convoy. She was made in the year 2000. So she's a 2.5 litre diesel, and even though she's big and heavy, she's surprisingly good on fuel. Also, diesel is actually cheaper in Spain than petrol. So if you've watched all the videos so far, you'll know that she was a very different looking van when we first got her. From my last video, as you saw, we completed painting the entire van. So it is now 2 colours. We've got white on the top and this new blue on the bottom. So even though she's 20 years old, she looks brand new and nice and fresh. So we painted the wing mirrors, the wheels and the bumpers in a chrome effect paint. The van's 5 metres long, 2.8 metres high and about 2 metres wide. So there's not much else on the outside. We've got a standard spare tyre underneath. The diesel heater that was already on the van is down the front here as well, again underneath. Painted the rear wheels as well, painted the rear bumper. One of the first jobs we did was add the parking sensors. As I said, it's 5 metres long and it's a big van, so it just makes it a lot easier when we're trying to reverse or get into a tight space. It did come with a tow bar, although we're probably never going to use it. And other than that, everything at the back was just tidying up and doing the paint work. So if you remember from one of the first videos, on this side there was a big hole where it had a vent, as this is where the fridge sat. So that hole's been completely filled in. And one of the other things that was really horrible on the van is it had an extra bit of plastic trim stuck around the wheel arch here, mainly because the original wheel arch had started to rust away. So when we painted it, one of the things we did was blended everything in so that it just looks like one nice piece again. And we're really pleased with how that turned out. So another job we did, when we first got the van, this glass was the same as the window at the top, so you could see through into the van. Partly for insulation and partly because it gave us a bit more storage. We painted the inside of the window black and then put some insulation behind. And this has allowed it, one, to look nice and private from the outside, and 2, we've actually got a small cupboard on the inside which we'll show you later. So around this side, and we've got the same thing with the wheel arch here. On this side we had a water hookup and an electric hookup that came with the van. It wasn't what we wanted, so we got rid of that. We reused one of the holes to add some ventilation. This is for our gas and for the fridge. And the other hole has been completely filled in and you can't even see where it was. We've also painted the fuel cap in the same chrome that we use for the wheels and the wing mirrors. This window here has had the same treatment as the small window on the front passenger door. So it's well insulated, and again it adds some privacy. And also this is where the kitchen is, behind this window, so we couldn't have a window here anyway. And also on this side we've got the extractor fan. And this is the vent where all of the air gets blown out of the van. So now moving on to the inside. So at the front it's a standard right hand drive, which while we're in most of Europe is a bit of a pain, but luckily with all the windows in the van it's relatively easy to drive and there's hardly any blind spots. To get around we use an iPad for music and navigation. Make sure you check out my other videos, as I do a full in-depth video on how we use the iPad for sat-nav and music and everything we need while we're driving. Also at the front we've got the speakers up the top here that we've built into the overhead storage. We use these, one while we're driving and also as music to play in the van or if we're watching movies. Both of these doors drop open and they're not very well organised at the moment, but we've just got some extra tools, tape and a few other random bits that have been thrown in there. So the other things down the front, this control here is for our diesel heater. So this is the heater that heats up the whole of the back of the van. It's really efficient, really easy to use. Above we've got the control for the Bluetooth adapter, so the music from the iPad comes through here and it allows us to control volume and skip songs and things like that. Behind here we've got the chargers, so also while we're driving our electronics can be charging off of the engine. Also down the front here is where we keep our fire extinguisher. And then above that we've got a little bit of storage and a
Handmade.
And a handmade armrest just to make driving a little bit more comfy, and also a bit more storage under here. And then the space that we've got behind the driver's seat, these are all the aluminium insulation that we put on each of the windows. They work really well. One, in the summer they keep all of the heat, or most of the heat, out of the van, and in the winter and at night they keep all of that heat in the van and stop it getting too cold. Also behind here we've got an extension to our kitchen countertop, and the legs are stored down here for the table that we'll show you later. And the other thing that you can see at the front here, we actually keep our winter coats and the bedding on my driver's seat. We did build storage for them, but it just takes up so much space, and this space is never used. We don't sit on it while we're parked up, so when we drive we just move these to the back, and as soon as we pull up we put them back here. And the last thing at the front is our passenger chair is a swivel chair. So this spins round and gives us somewhere else to sit. So now Alba's going to show you around the rest of the inside.
So this is our kitchen area. It's pretty big, or it looks pretty big, but it's because we love cooking, so that's why we wanted a big space. So it's not same. Normally on caravans or camper vans are much tinier countertops, but this is like kind of normal size, so a little bit smaller. We've got here a two burner gas hob, and then we've got an extractor fan that Luke made himself with some pallet wood, and then here under here there is one of the lights for the kitchen, and a fan that Luke put in there. And as you could see before, outside there's the vent for the air that sucks in and goes out of the van. And here we always have our portable speaker. Also, we went for a really big sink. This is a small thing where we keep our washing sponge that is made from a natural fiber that comes from the zucchini, and yeah, it's natural. And this is for the soap. And yeah, we've got two taps. This is for the drinking water and this is for the normal water. So this one goes to a 25-liter tank, and this one has 75-liter tank, and the water comes out with a pump. Each of them's got a different pump. So here we got these two switches. This one is for the drinking and this one is for the normal. So if I switch on, now you can see. Yeah, it's a bit noisy, but it's because we wanted to have the pumps in here. So up here also it was kind of an empty space, so we decided to make some shelf for the spices, and we bought that little glass jars for the spices, and they fit like perfectly in there. They have a tiny lip in here, and like this they don't slide in and out while we drive. And these tiny hooks here are for our cups, so we can put them in here while we are parked. But when we drive we have to put them away, because if not they do like and yeah, Luke built this space for our water bottles, and it's perfect. Also, they don't, well, they move a tiny bit, but it's like the perfect place for them. Even if the kitchen is big enough, we also have an extension that goes from here to all the way here, that now Luke will show you how it goes. So whenever we have more people coming up, we do a big dinner or lunch, or we need more preparation space, we put that thing in here. It extends the kitchen space so much that it looks like, I don't know, it looks so big, such a big kitchen. And now I'm gonna show you our cupboards. Up here we've got, well, also I wanted to show you that beautiful, yeah, they're beautiful, how you call them? Handles. Like, I love them, and it's one of the things that I like most about the van. We got these ones in most of the kitchen and cupboard areas. This is the only drawer we have, and you push it in and then pull it out. And here we've got all our cutlery and some teas, spices, and some supplements and the spoons that we use for cooking. And in these cupboards we have here some baskets to organize. Here we've got things like rice, pasta, quinoa, and all of that stuff. And underneath we've got all our plates and bowls. And this is here we also keep our chopping boards and some toppers. And yeah, on the other side we have our breakfast or street basket. It's where we keep all the nuts, mostly oats and everything. And out of the baskets we've got bigger things like milks, oils, chickpea jars, canned peas, and all of that stuff. Underneath we've got our pans. We've got one small one, a bigger one, and then a frying pan. And then we keep our blender and the coffee kettle? Coffee pot. Yes. And this one, it's our bathroom, or yeah, it's more the bathroom cupboard than kitchen cupboard. Here we keep the toilet paper, some towels like face towel and kitchen towels. And on this basket we've got all our toothbrushes, hairbrush, shampoo, soap, and all of that stuff. And under there we've got some of the cleaning products. And yeah, this is one of my favorite countertops because it's where we keep all our fruit and veg. We bought that 2 baskets that are really beautiful. And here, this one is for vegetables, this one is for fruits. As you can see, we love oranges in Spain. They are amazing, and they are on season now in winter time, so they are really, really yummy.
Fresh
and
orange
Luke can
juice.
tell.
Yeah. Fresh orange juice every morning.
Every morning. And yeah, under here we've got our fridge. It's a 40-liter fridge. It came with the van, so we didn't have to get any other. Luke built that extra door to match with the cupboards. And also in the kitchen area we have the 2 switches for the lights. So this one goes to the main lights and this other one goes to the kitchen light that we showed you before.
So under here we have some storage. We decided to have some lift up access into both of these units, partly because we ran out of wood to have in one big piece, but also it's quite handy if we just want to get the things out from the top. But they do also open like this. So in here we keep our bedding, our beach towels, the sarong for the beach, and in this one we've got some of our pyjamas, again some sort of slightly warmer things to wear at night if it gets a bit colder. Alba's got like 3 or 4 scarves because I don't know why, she likes scarves. And something that we really want to use and yet have still not used it, we've got a hammock down the bottom that, I don't know, we need to find a pair of trees that it will work on. And also on this side we've got the same click mechanism for the door, so they click in and that way they don't open while we drive. So when Alba showed you the kitchen, she showed you that we had our normal water tank was in total 75 litres. Now that's 75 litres because this comes off, and in here we've got 2 25 litre tanks, and there's another one of these tanks underneath the kitchen unit. This just ended up the best way for us to do it without paying for a custom built tank to fit underneath the van or something like that. This just made it easy for us and gave us lots of storage for water. So to fill these up we normally stop at fuel stations, and they normally got quite a long hose that stretches into the van. If not, this piece does also come off and we have to take the white bottle outside and fill the bottle up from the outside. So then to get the water from these tanks into the tank underneath the kitchen unit, we've got a multi-function tool. So it's actually our outdoor shower. This bit is just a submersible pump. It drops down into the tank, and then with the shower head disconnected, so normally this is our shower head for outside, but with that disconnected we put this into the other tank, turn it on, and we move all the water from the one tank into the other tank. So this is a close-up of the water tanks under the kitchen unit. Got the two filler caps on the top. One of those goes down into the drinking water tank. The other one goes down into the normal water tank. You can also see the pumps that sit behind these two tanks. And then finally we've got one more cupboard on the end where we keep most of our electrical devices and cables and things like that. Also in this cupboard is the switch for the batteries. So if we've had a few cloudy days and we need a bit more charge for our batteries, which we'll show you in a minute, we can turn the switch on while we're driving and the engine will help charge our batteries. And then up here, this is mostly Alba's special shelf. We did want to put more storage on the top, but we wanted to keep it more open, but Alba was very clear that she wanted a bookshelf in the van. So we managed to make this out of some of the leftover wood to go on and fill the shelf with all of her lovely books, and also one or two.
They're lovely, aren't they?
They're lovely, lovely. Very important. Most used bit of the van, this, for Alba.
You silly.
And then finally, over here, we've got our ukulele, which at some point I'm going to get back into playing. And another request from Alba is the mirror. And the final part of our kitchen area is the vent for our diesel heater. This is where all the lovely hot air blows out if we need it. The diesel heater actually came with the van. Although we plan to spend all our time in hot places, we are really glad we kept it. It heats the van up really quickly and efficiently. It's connected directly to the main diesel tank on the van, so it's always ready to go. Something we forgot to film is the table that we set up at the back of the van. We use this sometimes to eat on, but more often if we're going to spend a long day working on the laptops, we set the table up so we both got somewhere that we can sit and work. The top of the table itself fits handily underneath one of the sofas, and the legs fit down behind the driver's seat as we showed you earlier. So now to the back of the bus, where we have our two sofas that fold out into our bed. So we both wanted somewhere comfortable where we could sit and work. So for us, we decided to go for this sofa option rather than a fixed bed, because the two main things that we wanted was somewhere that we'd be able to sit and work and sit and relax, but also we wanted the feeling of space in the van. And we feel that being able to walk all the way from the front to the back of the van and to see all of the floor really opens up the van, rather than having a full-size bed permanently out at the back. And we're really pleased with the decision that we went with. So underneath the sofas, we've got storage for my clothes and Alba's clothes. There's also a bit of a garage at the back where we keep some of our most needed tools. Then on the other side, we've got some of the controls for the solar panels and a drawer full of bags.
Know them. We've got our backpacks and grocery bags and yeah, that kind of bags.
Most girls have got a thing with bags. Alba's isn't with designer bags, it's with bags for shopping, bags for vegetables.
Listen. This is our grocery bag, and under here is Luke's backpack, and under Luke's backpack is my backpack. So that's all that it takes this row.
I think there's about 30 bags in this.
Oh.
At night, if we want to watch a movie or have a bit more space on the sofas, we ended up with a split frame system for the bed. So we can pull out just one side of the bed frame, and then we just spin these cushions around, tread on the bin.
Ouch.
Something else we forgot to film is also how our bed works. So here you can see me putting our normal sofas into a U-shaped sofa. From here, it's simple to pull the other half of the bed out, fold the cushions down, and this is how our bed looks. The main reason we wanted this is to be able to pull up on a beach somewhere, open the back doors, and enjoy sunrise or sunset from the bed. But now, back to the tour and back to our sofa. And this way we can sit back and enjoy a film. But you may have noticed we don't have a TV, and that's because we've got a hidden projector. So up here in the ceiling, this just clicks down, and the projector sits in this little hole here. And then down the front we've got our hidden projector screen. If you want to see more on how the projector and the projector screen work, I've got a couple of videos on the channel as well showing you all the details of how the sound, projector and everything work. So make sure you check them out. Okay, so then the reason why there's not as much storage under this sofa is because this is where all of our batteries are stored. So luckily we don't have to get to them that often, so we don't have to take these off. But under here we use some recycled wood from the original van. So this was actually a cupboard that used to be in this back corner, but now it stores all of our batteries. We've got 410 amp hour AGM batteries, so for 440 amp hours in total. These are pretty much always charged by the solar panels that we have on the roof, which we'll show you in a minute. But as I said earlier, we also have the option to charge these off of the engine while we're driving as well. So these batteries run into an inverter, and this inverter then gives us power for our laptops, the fridge and things like that. So also down here we've got the fuse box for the 240 volt system, and also all of the 12 volt fuses in here as well. And then right down the end here we've got our solar charge controller, so this is what brings in the power from the solar panel and connects up to the batteries.
In here we've got a little drawer that's got more cables and plugs and chargers in general.
So that pretty much sums up all of the interior. Of course we should mention all of the wood. So almost everything that we built in here we tried to use recycled wood. So all of this is all recycled pallet wood, same with the extractor fan, and all of the framework for the kitchen and around the beds and everything either already came out of the van as it was, or again we reused old pallet wood. All of the countertops we did buy new wood, and same for the doors. So one thing that we did have to buy all new was the wood cladding for the walls and the ceiling, but we're really pleased that we did because we think it's come out really well. And something else we're really pleased with is the roof vent. So this is the original roof vent that came with the van. It's just a basic one that just opens and shuts like that, but I was really pleased we were able to extend the drop as the cladding that we added on an extra inch or so. So now I'm going to take you up onto the roof. We didn't have time in the end to order a nice ladder, so we quickly used again some of the leftover wood from the countertop and built this sort of handmade nice
amazing
ladder. And it works perfectly. So we close this in the door like this. The two knots stop anything from coming through, and then we use the sofa as the first step. And then we're up. So now we're up on the roof, you can see our solar panels. At the front we've got two 100 watt each flexible solar panels, giving us 200 watts, and at the back we've got one larger 150 watt panel. The panel at the back, as you can see, can be tilted in any direction, so we can always make sure it's facing the sun and giving us a lot more power. I would highly recommend doing something like this, as it makes a huge difference in the winter when we get a little bit less sun, and also when the sun is not directly above the van for as long during the day. So thank you for watching our van tour video. We hope you liked it. I'm sure we've missed loads, so if there's anything you'd like to know, please feel free to drop us a message or comment below.
Yeah, comment below. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you like the video. It helps us a lot.
And if you've enjoyed this video and you want to see more, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye!
Bye!